Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. Our lead story this morning is quite an interesting one, and I'm going to just try and get through it, folks, so bear with me. But we have leftist journalist writing opinion pieces about Larry Elder, yes, this Larry Elder, and saying that he is a soldier for white supremacy. I'm not even kidding. It's unbelievable that there's leftist idiots out there that are totally indoctrinated in this racist ideology, that they're literally writing stuff now about African Americans and how they're for white supremacy. Oh my God. And what's crazy is the leftists just don't even bat an eye about it. That's how, like, just confused they are. That's how they're not even in reality. Oh my God, have you started reading this thing yet? It's just so stupid. It is so stupid. But this comes from our friends over at Blaze Media. Oh my God. And they title it, California gubernatorial recall election candidate Larry Elder accused of being a soldier for white supremacy. How do you read that with a straight face, honestly? And you know the leftists that are reading this stuff and writing this stuff are like, oh yeah, oh no, yeah, that guy's a white supremacist. Oh yeah. It's like, dude, what the hell? It says here, in an opinion piece published by theGrio, I believe is how you say it, writer and podcaster Touré, and I'm definitely mispronouncing his name, asserts that conservative talk radio host Larry Elder, who is currently running in California's gubernatorial recall election, is, quote, a soldier for white supremacy. Man, Touré says that the candidate is like so many Republicans espousing a heartless and anti-black agenda that would be devastating for millions of black people. And the agenda relies on the notion that black people are lazy and without character, and that the poor's biggest problem is help from the state. I don't know any Republican or conservative that pushes that kind of agenda. I just don't, especially a political one. And we know this too, just off the premise of it. Because conservatives and Republicans, we talk about the individual. We don't have this tribalistic talk like you do in this, like the sentence that he's writing. Not you as the viewer, but you as the leftist, whoever so happens to be watching this, because I know we do have leftists that watch this show. You consistently lump an entire group of people, and you're also calling black people poor, which not all black people are poor. And conservatives, Republicans, we understand that. So we look at the individual and the individual's character, regardless of race, regardless of ethnicity. But you're lumping this stuff in here, and you're making kind of a racist claim here. So maybe, Touré, you better look at yourself on the inside and see if you have some racial bias yourself. If elected, Elder would become the Golden State's first black governor. But if you notice, the leftists don't talk about that, though. You're only seeing this on Blaze Media. You're only seeing this kind of talk on conservative outlets, pushing the fact that he's a black governor, not the fact that we should be just looking at that, because, again, race doesn't have anything to do with. But what we're showing is the hypocrisy of the left, where they don't want to call out the fact that he's going to be the first black governor, right? We always have to call out that somebody's the first black this, the first black that, the first woman this, the first woman that. But the left, when it comes to Larry Elder, for some reason, they're all quiet. They're all quiet when talking about it. Well, the I guess you can call it the hit piece, calling him white supremacy, says this. So this is from the article. Elder is a soldier for white supremacy. He's providing cover for racists, using his skin to deflect charges that are racist. He's helping racists seem less racist as they push ideas that would be devastating to black people and are built on lies about black people. When people tell you that black people cannot be racist, tell them they are wrong. Black people like Larry Elder are the voice of racist ideas. They are helping racists do their work, and therefore they too are racist. Don't you just love this guy says, when people tell you that black people cannot be racist, who told us that for so many years? Oh, the leftists told us for so many years that people of color, predominantly black people, cannot be racist because of the idea and the definition of racism, which I don't agree with, by the way. I think regardless of your skin color, you can be racist against another race, but that's not what the leftists believe. But I'm supposed to sit there and take this guy's hypocrisy and go to another leftist and say, well, this guy wrote this article about Larry Elder and he told me that black people can be racist, but you're sitting there as a leftist telling me that a core tenet of leftist ideology is that black people cannot be racist or people of color cannot be racist. So you're seeing the hypocrisy of this, but this guy's writing this article because an African American is pushing conservative ideas that don't fit with the narrative of the leftist ideology. So now this guy's all of a sudden a white supremacy soldier here pushing racist ideas because, again, it doesn't fit the narrative of the left, and the left are going to be hypocritical because, again, now we have an African American standing up and rising up, going against a system that was supposedly holding him back, which we're about to get into, and now he's rising up to lead this great state of California back to where it was before the leftists took over the domination of it. The article goes on to say, For so many people, being racist means saying or doing things that are based around racial biases, but that puts white and black microaggressions on equal plane. When I'm talking about racism, I'm talking about white supremacy and the systems that produces and perpetuates the systems that hold black people back and make white skin into a privilege. This is that whole leftist ideology, that revisionist history where they say that America was founded on white supremacy, and white supremacy has been interwoven into all our institutions and our social fabric that produces white privilege. But what's astonishing is that they never talk about specific institutions, and they don't ever go a step further and talk about the people in those institutions that are creating some sort of trait or some sort of regulation or some sort of system in that institution that's going specifically against black people and is only helping white people. You want to know why they don't do that? Because it doesn't exist. It's too specific. And when it's too specific, their narrative completely falls apart because it's fantasy, it's fake, it's made up. And you know what I love even further is you had a black president named Barack Obama all but a few years ago, right? That supposedly somehow beat out these systems here and wrote a giant memoir that's longer than the Old Testament, God's words himself, and never details out how he beat these systems that the leftists continually say only help white people, but don't help black people and hold black people back. It's truly astonishing. It's made up, but that's not going to stop them from pushing this false narrative. White people don't need to be racist in order to benefit from white privilege, and black people can do things that aid white supremacy and the systems that are built around it. If black people give material aid to white supremacy, then they are performing racist actions. Basically what they're saying here, if you're a black person and somehow a white person benefits in some way, shape, or form, or in other words, creates a disparity, an outcome of an event, and they ultimately beat out a black person. Prime example, a white person outbeats or outcompetes a person of color for a job opportunity. Because maybe you referenced that white person to get that job, you're racist because now you are benefiting and helping and promulgating that white person to get that job over that person of color. Thus, you created a disparity, an outcome that now ultimately pushes white privilege because of their skin color. So any sort of disparity that's been creative, you are now a racist. This leftist article ends off saying, Larry Elder is one of those blacks whose work is purposefully and immensely beneficial to white supremacy. He is helping white supremacy thrive by giving comfort to racists and helping them place the blame of poverty on black people, rather than generations of systems and policies that have abandoned them. You mean the policies that were put in place by Democrats and leftist ideology has completely crumbled the state of California? You mean those policies, but now you're going to blame it on Larry Elder for trying to come in and fix those policies that were put in place by Democrats, but you're going to blame the conservative that wasn't in office, that never put those in place, for abandoning them? I don't think so, but this is that twisted, construed leftist ideology that makes you freaking go mind-boggling, that makes you want to go have a drink after because it doesn't make sense. And you want to try to make sense of it so you could talk about it with other people, because now they're just going to look at you like you're crazy because you're not making sense, but you're not making sense because the leftists that are spewing this garbage don't make sense either. Well, the Blaze Media article goes on to say, while many candidates are vying for the opportunity to replace California Governor Gavin Newsom, Elder has emerged as the top contender to secure the job in the event that votes choose to out Newsom. The election is on Tuesday, September 14th, which is today, folks, but some people have already voted, including Elder, who cast his vote early in person last week. A vote by mail ballot was supposed to be sent to every active registered voter, regardless of whether you asked for it or not, folks. They're just going to send it to you, very similar to how they did the national election, according to California Secretary of State website. This is how the Democrats want to win. And you can look up all the weird stuff that's going on with the ballots, the counting of the ballots, or at least the collecting of them, I should say, in the state of California. There's some weird stuff going on, folks, by the Democrats here, once again, regarding elections. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to be banned off YouTube. On the ballot, voters will indicate whether or not they want Newsom recalled, and he will be kicked out of office if a majority of the voters support removing him. If Newsom is recalled, the replacement candidate with the most votes will become the state's new governor. So Larry Elder, as long as Newsom actually gets recalled, if he has enough votes to get recalled, then Larry Elder most likely is the one that's going to be a shoo-in here to be the next governor of California and fix all the destructive policies and regulations that Newsom and the Democrats have put in place, and they somehow want to blame conservatives for this, which is astonishing, right? I mean, this is the most bluest state, or at least one of the bluest states in the entire union, and they're going to sit there and try to blame conservatives when they are the ones that ran this beautiful state into the ground. Things are so bad in Sacramento, you guys. There's literally an app to track where homeless people are pooping in the streets so you don't step in it. I'm not kidding. There's literally an app that you can download, kind of like Waze, that lets you track all the crap and stuff that's in the streets. You're going to see needles. You're going to see razor blades. You're going to see housing, meaning like tents, furniture on the streets, in the middle of the streets, syringes, there's poop. There was a story a long time ago by homeless people literally throwing poop at pedestrians, at citizens just walking down the street, throwing hot diarrhea on people. I'm not making any of this stuff up. All this stuff is going on in California. We need Gavin Newsom out, but you're going to have leftist freaking media outlets out there, as well as journalists saying Larry Elder is accused of being a soldier for white supremacy. Or they're calling him a soldier for white supremacy? Really? That's where we're going with all this? But hey, you know, leftist ideology is batshit crazy. That's no shocker to all of you. But I wanted you to read this story. If you're in California and you're voting today, get out to the polls and vote for Larry Elder. Vote for Newsom to be recalled so we can turn the state around and make it a productive state, not one that's an embarrassment to the entire United States. With that being said, thank you so much for following me here on the Brawl Brad Show. Make sure you like and subscribe to the show. Share it with your friends and family. And folks, I will see you later here on the Bald Brad Show.